And there again, it froze. Good evening, everyone. I do apologise, but it always works when I'm doing a dry run. And, I think, right, I've got that working now, and then I go live and it freezes like that. So who knows? It is just one of those things. It's the joys of doing a live stream, I suppose. Hope everyone's okay. It's a little bit different tonight on the stream. Normally, I just have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and I just drink beer and spout forth nonsense. There's going to be a fair amount of that tonight, as usual, so don't worry about that if that's what you've turned up for. But, it's going to be, there's a little bit of a plan tonight. We are premiering a little venture that me and a couple of other lads have done. They're both in the green room at the moment, so you've probably seen them already in the chat. We've got Steve Cassidy and the Lamb turning up to have a bit of a chat about what we've been doing together. And well, I'll tell you what we've been doing together. We've done a charity single for Zoe's Place, and there's supposed to be someone from Zoe's Place turning up at some point during the stream to have a little bit of a chat about who they are and what they do and everything. So we'll get to all of that, but there is something of a custom to be upheld in these parts. Let's have a look at who is in the chat and who was first in. I set the stream up a bit earlier this week, so I thought just to keep you on your toes, basically. I see Wayne Smith was first in. Then we've got Dr. Gomez 1, David James, Mark Kerno, Rob Bald is there. So is Peter Collins, sometimes dim, never thin is in, and we've got Terry Day. We've got Peter Borthwick, Craig Stamen, Johnny H. Johnny Random is there, so is Rent to Kill, who is late today. No, I was early, Rent to Kill. It wasn't your fault, mate. There's Peter Nicholson, and we got Cylon Hybrid, Paul Trainer, BSC, the resident bass player, no less, and Anton bringing up the rear there. Dave Fiendish is in, so is Grandpa Joe. Let's put you up on screen, Joe. You always have such a nice message for us. Good afternoon, John and all. Greetings from New York City. With the holiday season upon us, wishing everyone and your families a happy and safe season. Well, I'm sure that is reciprocated, mate. All the best to you and yours. There's Ian Clark and John Channing, and we got John Ross there, PFY Guitars, James Hunt, and scrolling down, I see there's Robert Galbraith, Bev Doyle, Phil is in, so is Fiend Tunes, Ian Rouse, Timbo, Dave Snacks Stevens is in. He's on holiday in Egypt at the moment. I bet you're warmer than I am, mate. Then David Evans, Tom Clark, Ben Allmark, Jimmy James, Sean House, Frank Bolam, Calby and the Rocco Cat Deco Dude, Carl Tom, Relaxing Meditation, is asking me, did I sell the Earth? It was gone within an hour after the live stream last week, mate. Then we've got Reeled In 58. We've got Timbo. I've said Timbo already, haven't I? I do apologise. Blue Sofa Songs. Chris Ottewell is in. And scrolling down, there's Cal Texper, Colin Falcon, the Essex Cat, Rexamatic, and the Autumn Storm. Saying, what's all this about? Got a recommendation, but evening all. Well, if it's about anything, mate, it's just about having a beer and a chat. And then Crackerjack, indeed. Malcolm Spillett is there. Russell Gibson. And who else we got? There's Steve Cassidy Guitar. Funnily enough, Pablo Hank is in, and so is Peter S. The Lamb is there. He's here as well. He's in the green room. And who else we got? We got Maiden Man 74, Adam San, and Dudley Squat, Iggy Tommy, Murray Music, Brad Dowell, Stuart Young is in, we got Martin Bix, we got Peter Goddard 1960, Mark Greening, and Tom Clark is there. I think I've said that already, haven't I? But anyway, I've just said it again. There's Thomas Mulvaney, Randy Upchurch, I beg your pardon. Graham Campbell is there as well. And scrolling down, we're coming to the end now. We've got Stephen Ellis, and Mr. Chris 5254 is there. Who else have we got? We got Jay Aoyong and Paul Trainer BSC. Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman. That will get spent on wise things like beer. Peter Shields is there, Vincent Brennan, and who else have we got? I think that's pretty much everybody. No, there's Dewey 7330 is in, and Frank Brady. Is it Brady or Brody? I think it's Brady there. So that's who's in. At current count, 141 souls aboard. Let's tell you what I've got coming up on the channel this week. Tomorrow is Saturday, as you know. Or it is if you're watching this live. I don't know what day it is if you're not. But I don't usually do Saturday videos. Except under special circumstances. And, well, tomorrow is kind of a special circumstance because it is the official release date of a certain Christmas single. We're going to try and get the Christmas #1 slot this year. We're not going to manage it, but we're going to try to do it. Maybe if Mr. Cowell was involved, but then it wouldn't be any good, would it, really? I'm not saying it is anyway, but, it certainly wouldn't be if he had anything to do with it. So that's tomorrow's video. I'm just kind of running down the Christmas single. I'm going to preview it tonight, by the way. So if you're not around tomorrow, don't worry, you will see it. Providing it doesn't freeze, we shall hopefully that intro thing doesn't kind of bedevil us. So that's tomorrow's video. Then on Sunday, have you ever picked up a guitar and forgot what guitar you were playing? A senior moment, if you will. That's what happened to me the other week. I was playing a particular guitar and I went for the pickup selector up here and I realized, it's actually down there. So I thought, maybe I could make a video with that theme, and I did, and that's Sunday's video. Then Monday, well, I'll tell you what the title of Monday's video is all about. It's the title of the video is Flux Capacitors Optional for This Solo. So I wonder if you can tell me what song we're looking at the solo from there. Answers on a postcard or in the chat even. Then Tuesday is a top 5 video as usual, and basically one that's I was unsure whether to do this video on the top 5 Tuesday slot or the viewers question slot, because it did come from a question I had, and that was, what are the 5 most essential guitars that you have to either own or have owned or try or have some kind of access to, and we're talking electric guitars here, obviously. That's what this channel is all about. So what are the 5 most essential electric guitars to own? Wednesday, there's a chap who often drops in the chat called Saji, and he is, I believe he's an Indian gentleman, and he's not too clear on what the different definitions of Western musical genres are. It's, so it's basically addressing that particular what makes country different from rock, and what makes rock different from blues, and what makes blues different from etc. All of that sort of stuff. That's what we're looking at on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, a bit of a first for me. I'm doing a first impressions video on a brand of guitar that I don't think I've ever played before, a Vox guitar. Interesting guitar, very interesting guitar. So that is what's coming up this week on the channel. And you know what happens after Thursday? This is what happens after Thursday. This is what's happening now. So let's have a look, see if anybody's got the... Calby and the Rocco Cat, you've got it right, mate. And... Rob Ball saying, did Steve Cassidy guitar lend you one of his techno granddad caps with a video? No. There is a moment in the video where you see me with a tinsel boa on, but that's as I do have a Santa hat somewhere that has Bar Humbug written on it, but I couldn't find it. So the solo on Monday is from Huey Lewis and the News, The Power of Love, a song that you probably forgot has a guitar solo, but it does, and a rather fine one. So I decided I'd do a little bit of a video on it. Right, well, I think it's about time we got the rest of the lads in, So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and have a big round of applause for the Lamb. There he is. Hey. And for Mr. Steve Cassidy guitar. There he is. How are you doing, lads?
All good, mate.
Very good, thanks. Thanks for having us on, John.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Take some of the weight off me. If I can't think of any particular nonsense to tumble out of me gob, I'm sure you two can take up the slack at some point.
Oh, we've got you covered. I'm full of nonsense.
I'll do my best.
So, yes, we've been having a little bit of a long distance play together, haven't we? Shall we tell the viewer what it's all about?
Go for it.
Well, yeah, it's every year. I'm a typical bloke, and it's every year it's like gets to about the 15th, 16th of December. I'm thinking, bloody hell, it's nearly Christmas, and then I've got to do the panic Christmas shopping and all that sort of stuff and knock out a video for the YouTube channel. And something Christmas themed, and I've done I forgot, I think last year I did that Mike Oldfield thing in Dulce Jubilo, and I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do it as a bit of a collaboration this year. I used to do this kind of thing all the time on a website called Songcrafters, where people email each other parts and it all gets put into a mix, and people on the opposite side of the world sometimes, kind of trading solos. It's great fun. So I thought, why don't I do that this year for the Christmas thing? So I invited you two good chaps to join me on a particular Christmas classic, and you were good enough to agree to do it. And first of all, thank you before we go any further for taking part in this. I had a sort of rough idea of how it might turn out, but your contributions and the contrast between you two guys and your ways of playing, you're very different from each other, and you're both very different from me. And I think it just really kind of works and is something bigger than the sum of its parts. And we're going to have a listen to it shortly, but well, I'll tell you what, shall I put it on now and then we can talk about it afterwards? Right, so I just need to click on this and hit pause. There we go. And then I need to do that. Oh, dear me. I think we've got, yes. I'll tell you what, chaps, we'll possibly leave that for now. That was buffering and stuttering and not going particularly well at all. But you've had a bit of a sneak preview. I know it's not working very well, Jimmy James. I know. That's why I've stopped it. Yes, the wonders of modern technology. It is... Well, you can probably tell exactly what's going on there. It's a rocking version of Jingle Bells. Autumn Stone's saying the dubstep version. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I know it's something to do with StreamYard. I may kind of start looking into alternative ways of doing this stream other than StreamYard, because that wasn't very clever at all. I do apologise for that, but it's a cracking version. And if you want to hear it in full and see that video in full, then just watch tomorrow's video, 12 noon UK time, and all will hopefully be well, it will be working okay, because it's just a regular YouTube video. I don't know what this is with the with StreamYard, but technical hitches happen. And I see we've got Rachel from Zoe's Place. Hello, Rachel. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Yeah, we've just had a go at playing the Christmas single, but the Gremlins defeated us, unfortunately. But it's the joys of being live. You just have to kind of carry on in an embarrassed fashion. But it's, as I say, the video is going out tomorrow, and let me put this in the chat while I think on. I won't try and talk and chew gum at the same time. I'll do that later. Yeah, the single is already available from my website, johnrobsonmusic.co.uk. Go to the music page there and you can find the download link. It is currently in the process of working its way through the system to be available on all the usual Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, all those kind of places. And it's all in aid of Zoe's Place. And Rachel is going to tell us exactly what Zoe's Place is all about. So I think you're muted there, Rachel. So there we go. So Rachel, who are Zoe's Place and what do they do?
So we are a baby hospice and we are based in Normanby, Middlesbrough. And we look after babies from 0 to 5 years old who have life-limiting and life-threatening conditions. That all sounds, really, really serious. Usually when I mention the word hospice, most people go, oh, that must be really, a sad place. Zoe's place isn't like that at all. It's a really vibrant environment. It's absolutely gorgeous, especially this time of year coming up to Christmas, and we're all nicely decorated. And it is full of highly qualified nursing staff. So we have qualified nurses that work here, care assistants, and we have player leaders as well. So a full care team. And we provide support to the families and babies accessing the services here at the hospice through some really difficult times. The vast majority of the care that we deliver is called respite care. So that's short stays and breaks for the babies, allowing the families just to go away and leave their children knowing that they're going to be cared for by, a highly specialised nursing team, and that while the children stay here with us, they're actually going to be okay. All their medical needs will be met. They'll have a great time while they're here. We do lots of different therapies and things like that. We go out into the community, so we'll go for a little walk, stroll along the beach, that kind of thing. And that allows mums and dads that little bit of a break, that little bit of respite to do all the things that we all might take for granted. So things like going shopping, spending time, with your husband or your wife, or other children in the family, or simply catching up on sleep, because the little ones that do access the services here, their medical needs and demands are very, very high. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and their demands are there, and that can be, it can take its toll on families. So the nurses and the care staff are here to support those families and make sure they get that much needed break while their little ones stay here. And that's what we do, and that's the vast majority of what we do. The other side to the care we offer is the end-of-life care. So we talk about palliative care, and that means that we are there for families and able to offer support here at the hospice through some very, very difficult times. So when a little one is approaching end of life, we are able to offer nursing staff to support that family. They can come and stay with us in our rainbow suite, and the children are here all the time. And it just means that for the time that family are with us, it's a really, really special moment for the families, and they're going to get that quality of time while they're with us. And it's a full nursing team as well. So that is what we do, and we are very, very proud to be able to deliver that care to the families. And we currently have around about 47 families accessing the service, and we're taking new referrals every single day that we're here, but without support.
I mean, if that isn't a cause worth getting behind, then I don't know what is. It's can I just ask, do you get much in the way of government funding?
We get a very, very small amount of government funding, and it's our running costs. We'll put it into context. Our running costs are 1.5 million each year for just the Zoe's Place at Middlesbrough. So that's just our Middlesbrough hospice alone. It costs 1.5 million to open the doors to the hospice. We get a small amount of funding, and it's in the region of around about £200,000 each year. It does vary, give or take. Now, if you look at the 1.5 million that we need to raise, that is a tiny amount of fundraising, of funding. And if that was the only funding loan that we were to receive for the hospice, it's simple. We wouldn't be able to open our doors to the families and look after the families that we were able to.
Okay, right. Well, I see a couple of people already have. There's Ian Clark has donated £10 there, and then we've got Raimondo Galfredi has donated another £10. All of these donations will be they're coming to my YouTube channel, but they'll be leaving first thing tomorrow to go to Zoe's place, and because how can you not support a cause like this? Which is why I first got into supporting you guys when I needed to raise funds for this YouTube channel, and I thought, well, I'll start a GoFundMe. I'll buy guitars, review them on YouTube. That gets me kind of clicks and views and revenue, and then sell the guitars, and then the money goes to you. That was what I used to do, but I didn't want to become that annoying person always rattling the tin, if you know what I mean. So that sort of kind of had a lifespan, and I just thought, what a good time this time of year to do something again for you chaps. It's an incredible job you do, and where can people go to make a donation directly to you? Where can they go?
So if they want to make a donation directly, they can head over to our website, zoes-place.org.uk, and click on Middlesbrough and click on donate. You will also be able to see some of the stories of the families that access the services. So you'll be able to see the impact that your donations are making and having on the hospice as well, and read it for yourself and keep up to date with everything that's going on in the hospice and everything that's going on in fundraising. But I just want to say a really, really big thank you, John, to yourself, and also the team behind you and your supporters, because the amount that's been raised, we're talking in the thousands of pounds, over the years that you've supported us, and that is just incredible. If you break our funding down into 1.5 million into the daily rate, it's just over £4,000 a day, or £30 every hour for every child that we look after, and the impact of those donations really is incredible. It means that families out across the northeast and even beyond, because we don't have a catchment area, are supported and they're able to access our services, and the gift of being able to make those memories, and not count the days but make those days count. It's just incredible. It's immense and very, very much appreciated here at the hospice by us all, on behalf of all the staff and families. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Because one thing that is that, speaking for myself, and I think I'm speaking for the other chaps here, it's we all like to sort of get that warm fuzzy feeling from giving a little back, it's just a case of who do you give back to, and there's all of the big, like the Red Cross and Save the Children, and all of the big sort of charities that have got kind of big brand recognition, and I'm sure they all do sterling and worthy work, but you guys don't have that kind of profile, and I think that given the kind of families that you help, I think you really should. So anything I can do to bang the drum for you, then it's all kind of shoulder to the grindstone, really.
Thank you.
So have you two guys, Steve or the Lamb, have you got any questions that you'd like to kind of talk to Rachel about?
I have a question, but you go on.
All right. Well, I was going to say, I don't particularly have any questions, but I just wanted to voice my opinion, really, because when Steve approached us on this, I didn't, I know you mentioned it was for charity. We don't really sort of think about that. You just think about doing your little bit and getting a solo in there. But what I feel is like these sort of charities and the work that you do, Rachel, it doesn't enter into the daily lives of most people. We're lucky enough not to have to consider these sort of things, but when it happens, you guys are probably the nearest thing, in my opinion, that we get to angels on earth. When I've been in hospital a couple of times, and when you're ill, or if you have like a general anesthetic and there's just someone that holds your hand as you wake up, you'd give anything for that. So I think it's very generous of the people to give what they can. I'll certainly put the message around to my community as well and see if we can get a little bit more support and everything else. But John, you've chosen an absolute cracker of a source for the donations, and I just hope that you get all the money that you need to carry on, because it's beyond invaluable. It's humanitarian work. It's, like I say, it's the work of angels. It's got to be astonishingly difficult. And so, just being invited to be part of this, I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Oh no, thank you. That is really, really lovely to hear, because our supporters are really important to us as well. And as you say, it's a service that you will hope you never need to use, but should you require the services of the hospice, that you would really hope that somebody would be there to be able to support. And we are really thankful and grateful that we are. Next year we celebrate 20 years of opening our Middlesbrough Hospice, which is a massive achievement for us, because we were so small when we started out, and we've just grown and grown and grown. And it's funny that you say, we're like the angels. We think that of our community that support us and our supporters, because yes, our staff do incredible work. The nursing staff work just incredibly hard. The services they deliver really are amazing. But without our community and people supporting us, we couldn't do the work that we do.
Well, Steve, do you want to come in there? Oh, I think Steve's having technical issues there. So, yes, well, as I say, Rachel, it is... Oh, is Steve there?
Yeah. Imagine,
he's coming through the ether. There he is.
Having some issues there. Apologies. Hello, I think I'm back. Yeah, so I just wanted to say I couldn't agree more with the sentiments of the other gents. And I worked with the NHS myself for like 17 years, so I know that people in that sector just work absolutely tirelessly. So massive respect to everything and all the things that you do over there. I did want to ask, you just mentioned there that you're about to celebrate 20 years anniversary of starting up. And I just wondered about the name Zoe's Place and what the story was and who Zoe was.
Really good question.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, really good question. We get asked this loads. Everybody thinks that it was named after a little girl that accessed the service, or maybe somebody that opened it up in memory of somebody. It's not. It's Greek and it means gift of life. And as part of the care and the strategy that we deliver, we, really do think that every day counts, and you shouldn't count the days, you should make the days count, and you should just embrace life and put everything you have into it, regardless of how long. So whether it would be 1 day, 10 years, 100 years that you live, every day is equally as important, and it's our job as a nursing team to be able to deliver that sort of care. So really making memories, making happy memories, lots of smiles and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's what Zoe's means. It's Greek and it means gift of life.
Well, I mean, what can you say? That is, as I said earlier, and I will probably say many more times, it's if that isn't a cause that you can throw, if you dig down behind the back of the sofa and you find a few spare coppers and you didn't know they were there, well, just chuck them to Zoe's Place. If if you've had any kind of good fortune, then let's spread it around a little bit and send it on to Zoe's Place. I'm not trying to say, I don't want to be. I'm very conscious here that I don't want to be, shaming people into, because times are tough. There's a cost of living crisis, and I don't want anyone to feel, in any way obligated to give money they can't afford to give. But if you can, just chuck a few quid, a few coppers, anything. Every little counts. And let's just have a look in the super chat here. We've got. I'm going to donate all of the super chats from tonight's live stream to Zoe's Place. We've got £2 from Paul Trainer, £10 from Ian Clark, £10 from Raymondo Galfredi, 10 Canadian dollars from Cal B, £10 from Anton, €5.99 from Michael Purcell, a tenner from Carl Tom, SGD, I'm not sure what currency that is, from J. Ao Young, but there's 20 of them. £5 from Macaroon, tenner from Dr. Gomez, 20 quid from Peter Goddard, a tenner from Johnny Random. Peter Collins has donated 10 quid as well. And the way it works is that YouTube take 30% of all of the super chats. Well, they're not having 30% of these super chats. I'll have a little bit of a top up tomorrow. I'll go through what's been put in the. Oh, and there's another £10 from Chris Otterwell. I'll go back through the chat tomorrow and tot up how much is there, and I'll cover the YouTube costs, the YouTube share of this, because that's my way of putting a little in, and hopefully from that and the sales of the single, which is, as I say, available at the moment on my website, johnrobsonmusic.co.uk. Go to the music page there, and the first thing at the top of the page you'll see is the link to buy the single. And I was hoping to play it for you tonight, but the Gremlins got the better of us. But you will be able to hear it 12 noon UK time on this channel tomorrow. And yeah, as I say, great cause. Let's raise a few quid. We already have done. Oh, it's Jimmy James, 15 Canadian dollars. John, Grandpa Joe is saying, can we post the website? Let's just go and do that. Let's... there we go, Zoe's Place and Middlesbrough Hospice, and let's just copy that link and throw it into the chat. Here is the link to Zoe's Place. That should be in the chat right now, and I'll put it up on screen in case anybody wants to see it. There it is, zoesplace.org.uk /locations/Middlesbrough Hospice. That is where you need to go. And when this live stream is over, it just appears like a normal YouTube video. There will be a link in that description box that will appear then as well. So thank you for turning up, Rachel. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your Friday evening.
Thank you. My absolute pleasure, anytime. And thank you everybody for your support and your hard work as well. Thank you. It's
a pleasure and an honour, Rachel. Thanks for turning up. We'll see you all again soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Rachel. Take care.
Thank you for everything you do.
What a lovely lady.
Lovely.
Lovely doesn't even begin to cover it, does it, when you think about what these people do for us?
Yeah.
And,
crazy.
But yeah, absolutely fantastic cause.
Good on you, John.
I love that that line that you came out with. Sorry?
I was just going to say, I could see all the super chats coming in on the side there. So, well done, everybody. Wow, amazing stuff.
Yes, I shall, like a grumpy hungover bear in the morning, I shall kind of scroll back through the super chats and tot it all up and ping a donation over to Zoe's Place. It's I'm not going to get all. Sort of, will YouTube take 30%? No, I'm going to cover that, because how can I not, after the generosity that's been shown tonight? I mean,
it's not about self-promotion, but I'm on Monday nights at 7 p.m. the Lamb Live, but I'll do the same thing on Monday. I often get a few people stick their hand in their pocket and it goes towards the show, so I'll tot up whatever we get at the end of it, and we'll do a bit of promotion. I'll see if I can send a PayPal your way then after the stream, and you can chuck that in with the rest of it, because we've got some lovely people come along to our stream.
Nice. Sorry, Matt, I almost used your real name then, and
that's okay. You're allowed. It's okay.
So, Steve, I believe you have a video going out, pretty shortly after this, don't you? Do you want to tell us about that? Oh, Steve's gone again. Steve's having. It's that Scottish internet.
Stone cold stare coming out.
Yeah, it's so.
It isn't water.
Yeah,
water, but.
Are you back, Steve? We'll keep on talking until he's back properly. Just you sort out your gremlin, Steve, and we'll fill the dead air. Hello.
I'm back.
Oh, are you back, mate? Yeah, Steve, you have a video going out pretty shortly, I believe. Do you want to tell us about that? No, apparently he doesn't. Steve,
I don't know if I'm here or not, but I'm sorry. I kind of.
Yeah, you are here, Steve. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I don't know what to tell you.
It's like Eurovision in the 70s, isn't it?
Sorry for Scottish internet, but I'll speak to the people in control. We'll get something done about it.
Yeah, Steve, can you hear me? Nod if you can hear me. No, he can't hear me. Right, so yeah. Oh, you gotta love beer and technology on a Friday evening, don't you? Could possibly. Oh, he's dropped out. Yeah, I do. I notice you. You do a live stream on a Monday night, mate. But unfortunately, I'm usually teaching till 9 o'clock on a Monday. I had an early finish this Monday, and
you thought you ruined it by watching me.
Well, it was either that or sit in front of Coronation Street with the missus, So I decided to plug the headphones in and kind of watch you on the laptop. And dear me, it's different, isn't it? It's
oh yeah. We try to have. I try to make it fun more than anything else. I mean, it's just me playing. I've got a little bit of technology and things, so it's me playing rock and roll numbers and stuff to backing tracks mostly. But I do welcome anyone that wants to come and talk gear along or anything like that, because I am a massive gearhead. In all aspects, guitar, music production, and things like that. I almost feel like I've kind of garnered the wrong audience for that sometimes, because But what's happened is it's been going for about 3 years now. And when I started, I didn't even sing songs or anything. It was a lockdown affair, just something to do to stop myself from going crackers. But it's very much guided by the community, and so people come up with ideas or they make silly suggestions, and I'm the sort of type to try and take that and run with it and make things. So we have little game shows. That's like Anton says, the duck race. We race ducks. I've got another game where we drop balls, and it's all interactive with the chat. So I'm very much in favour of the people in the chat taking part in the show. If someone wants to suggest a silly song, I'll try and do it and all the rest of it. But it's just about trying to have a bit of fun and getting together and playing these guitars and making some noise. Really, I don't take any of it particularly seriously. But there's a nice community there that show up regularly from all around the world. And yeah, it's
got a question good. Here in the chat. Is the Lamb the name of the channel?
It's the Lamb Live, because the Lamb was taken, I think. So if you do youtube.com/the Lamb Live, or go to thelamblive.com. I've got a .com. Okay. You can find it there and come along. And definitely on Monday, we'll see if we can get a bit of a drive and get some money together as well for Zoe's place and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Steve has got the 1,000-yard stare there. He's back. I'll just mention that, because I was going to get Steve to mention it. But obviously he's the
side profile. You could put that on a money the way he's stuck there, couldn't you? That's the Scottish £5 note right there. Steve has got a video going out, I believe 6 o'clock, so straight after this live stream finishes. So if you are at a loose end, I unfortunately have to go and cook dinner. It's curry tonight. Of course.
Once again, it's Coronation Street this evening, so that's me with me headphones on while the wife watches whatever Ken Barlow's up to these days, and I'll watch Steve's video. But yeah, he's got a video featuring, I believe, our Christmas single. So if you want to hear it before 12 o'clock tomorrow, then go and check it out on Steve's channel. Go and check out his channel anyway, because it's really rather good. So when you're going to say something and oh, Steve's back. Are you back, mate?
I'm back. I don't know. I think you can maybe hear me, but you can't see me. But hello, I just caught a little bit. If I can try and catch up, I just want to say what picked up the alarm. This guy, love this guy's channel and his live stream Monday nights. You need to check out. It's like the best ever. It's almost as good as this live stream.
Well, this is the bar that John set that we all aspire to. You know, that's what that is.
Oh, this is
John as well for obviously having me in the project and giving me a wee shout out for the video. And I always do my uploads every Friday directly after this live stream.
Yeah, Steve, your audio's gone really quiet again, I'm afraid. Yeah,
I do believe in something called the streamer's curse. I think there's something that happens to technology that once it senses that you've gone live, all the gremlins start to come out of the woodwork. You know,
I used to host a drive time show on a tiny little community radio station in Redcar, and you know, you just learn to just roll with it. You know, because it was we used to use a playout system that was that ran on Linux Ubuntu, and oh dear me, I will never use Linux again after that. That was it was like, you know, oh yes, it's open source for a reason.
It's like something out of War Games, isn't it?
Rob Ball saying, "I'm enjoying the chaos." Yeah, well, it is that, but you know, it's technology, middle-aged men and beer. What do you expect? You know. Let's see what else has been going on in the chat. Let's have a wee look.
Chaos is all on my end. Apologies.
Oh, you're back. You're back. I was just telling people that you have a video coming out. When is it, Steve? 6 o'clock tonight, UK time.
6 o'clock every Friday. Just pick back on John's live stream audience.
Oh, and there he is. Does anyone remember a 70s comedian who used to wear a flat cap called Norman Collier?
Oh, vaguely rings a bell.
Yeah. He used to go.
That's right. The broken microphone guy. Yes, that's it.
He's been resurrected for one night only this evening.
Is he also the guy that used to do the really good chicken impression, or is that a different
He might have been. He might be. Friday night, 7 o'clock. The comedians. Do you remember that? Oh,
yes, absolutely.
It's all on YouTube.
Ken Goodwin was used to live in our town. I think a few people used to know him, and I quite like Ken Goodwin. He was very good, just clean but very good delivery. Sort of, you're one of these guys that could get you laughing before he's even opened his mouth, you know, sort of thing. But of course, there's certain elements of the comedians that we don't talk about anymore.
Yes.
There's fallen out of favour with the modern audience.
There are certain elements that haven't aged well. Oh, Steve's gone. Yeah, Steve's having technical issues.
It's probably sunspots or something like that. You know, they're more susceptible to it up north, aren't they?
I haven't spotted the sun around here in quite some time. I tell you what, I was out this morning with the dog. Pitch black, howling wind, kind of like drizzle, but with the howling wind behind it, it made it more like kind of acupuncture.
Well, no, here's the thing. The chat was saying Max Wall was the chicken walk guy. That is probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah, was Norman Collier the compare on the wheel tappers and shunters?
No,
was that a different guy.
That was Colin Crompton.
Right.
By order of the committee.
Going way back now.
Yeah, we've just lost all of the US audience there by kind of
and anyone under 40.
Yeah. Oh dear me, memories are a wonderful thing. Let's see what we got in. Blue Sofa Songs is saying, Princess Anne, I shall enjoy your show from the Royal Box. Ken Goodwin, don't they give you a chair? Iggy Tommy is saying, what does Steve middle age start now? I think it's saying what age does middle age start? Well, I'm 56. So, you know, by any metric, that is well past the halfway point, I reckon. So it's, you know, it's managed decline from here on in, isn't it?
I wouldn't dare mention my age. It's 40.
There The Autumn Stone is asking what Vox guitar. I saw that earlier. And
yes, I was interested in that because you don't see many Vox.
It is a Vox Virage guitar. It was one of those guitars that was too clever for its own good. It's got these pickups that are a revolutionary pickup that are kind of somewhere between a single coil, a P90, and a humbucker. It's hum cancelling, but it sounds somewhere between a Telecaster and a P90 guitar. Handles gain really, really well, and it was just such a brilliant guitar, beautifully made, built, fantastic build quality and everything.
I think they were made by Eco, weren't they? The Italian.
I don't know, but I do know it flopped.
Right.
Unfortunately,
the only time I've seen a Vox is in the hands of Andy Fairweather Lowe about 20 years ago, and that was like the teardrop one. They call it the Mark something. Yeah. I think you don't see many of them, but I guess they're out there. Like all the unusual guitars that you see.
Yep. I don't know. It's like there's a certain. It's like the whole kind of VHS Betamax Video 2000 kind of thing, isn't it? Everybody settles on a particular. Kind of format, Stratocaster, Telecaster, Les Paul, basically. Yeah. I would wager that pretty much every guitar that you could look at the 10 top-selling guitars the world over, and they're always going to be Strats, Tellys, and Les Pauls of some kind of description. Whether it's a sub £100 copy or a kind of £6,000 custom shop kind of thing. It's going to be the 90% of the top selling guitars are going to be those in some description. And I think it's, is that a shame? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Or is it just, it is what it is?
I think it's a natural thing because you can sort of equate it to, I think, to like the same sort of thing you see in cars. If you look at modern cars, they're almost all of a similar shape. And it's because after 50 years of development, we've decided, well, that is the most ergonomic or the most, streamlined or the most efficient. And I think, you can take a chance on a different design, but people will inevitably say, oh, well, it doesn't have this that a Strat has, or it doesn't have this that a Les Paul has. And you sort of, it's that thing of no one's in sort of cahoots on this, but the design process itself pushes you down a sort of a point of what is good and what people like.
Time Prophet is saying, I don't like Strats, Tellys, or Les Pauls. Well, fair enough, mate.
Well, there'll be something out there for you, I'm sure. But, yeah. I mean, well, you look at like the big jazz boxes and things like that. When you get into the jazz world, then, maybe the Strats and the Tellys do fall out of favor, and the Les Paul to a degree, So you get like a lot of the semi-hollows, the Ibanez Art Core stuff, and the 135s and all of that. I suppose you could argue that they're different, but they're not. I suppose they're not in the league of solid body guitar. Then you're into a sort of slightly different world.
Yeah, that's. I feel that the seeds of a Top 5 Tuesday video coming on here, which is top 5 guitars that should have made it but didn't. Yeah, let me write that down because I can't think why, but there may be some reason why my memory might be a little bit hazy in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
See, J.O. Young, I think I got that. It says ESP/LTD. I mean, that's a pretty good example of what is a modernized Strat shape or a modernized Les Paul. So you got the Eclipse or the I can't remember what the sort of Stratty Jackson-y style one is now. But whenever I think of ESP, I just think it's the Kirk Hammett type or the James Hetfield type. And it's one's the Les Paul and one's the Strat.
Yeah, exactly. Is anyone else, by the way, feeling a little bit cheated and, well, not cheated, perhaps that's the wrong word, but a little bit of an anticlimax on that Epiphone Greenie guitar?
Someone did ask you to comment on that in the chat, so I've not looked at it too much, but I hear there's a bit of a fuss about they've got the right headstock, have they not? They've put the open book headstock back on the Epiphones now, which everyone's been raving about, but I haven't heard much more than that.
they've basically done an Epiphone with a Gibson headstock, which they've been doing in Japan for years, apparently. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You see, I had, thanks to Mr. Rob Ball there in the chat, he sent me the Gibson, the Epiphone 59 Les Paul, that kind of collaboration with the Gibson Custom Shop. And that was an absolutely epic guitar. And I almost kept it. The deal was between me and Rob was like, keep it and pay me, or sell it and pay me. Basically, that was the deal that we had, and I almost kept it. But like, I've got my.
I must say I was tempted, because I think at the time, and I don't have it here, I don't know where it's gone. Around that time, I bought my Telecaster, which was a player. It's a player series, but an FSR, a Fender Special Run. So I got the roasted maple neck and the 51 Nocaster pickups, which I've now put a P90 in the neck, which was a great upgrade. Someone sent me a Tone Rider pickup in, one of the fans, so I put that in it. And that was a big improvement. But it was at the time, in that sort of ballpark of £800, which is quite a lot to spend on a guitar, there wasn't a lot that really piqued my interest. And that one only did because it was an FSR and it had the roasty neck. But the only two others that did were that 59 Epiphone Les Paul and also the PRS Paul's Guitar SE. I thought it was quite an interesting guitar for the price, because again they put like a custom shop bridge on it and a few other things that made it nice. But in the end I went with the Telecaster, and I must say no regrets at all.
No, you can't go wrong with a Telecaster.
First Telecaster I've ever had as well, because I've always been a Strat guy, and I thought, well, I've grown up a bit now. Let's try it out, and I absolutely love it. But I like what you've got there as well. See, now I had a tribute model when they first came out. Is that one of the tribute ones?
Yeah, this is a tribute. So it was like, I couldn't justify having two Les Pauls. So if I was going to keep the Epiphone 59, this would have had to have gone. And I don't know, I just bonded with this guitar massively. And a regular in this parish, I'm Not Creative, sent me a set of burst bookers to put in it. And oh, dear me, this is a proper, you hear about a sleeper guitar. It doesn't look anything special, but oh, you pick it up and play it, and it's a Gibson. It's got cosmetic flaws. You accept that. You price that in when you buy it. But it plays like hot knife through butter. And with these burst bookers in it now, it's just that, it's that Gary Moore tone. It really is.
See, I had the 50s tribute when they first came out, and they were putting P90s in them. The sort of soap bar style. So I bought one, and the P90s were so microphonic that it was unplayable. Even clean tones would start to feed back and squeal. And they'd put 250K volume pots in there, so it was sort of a bit muffled and a bit like that. So I tried to improve it, but in the end I just sold it. I just didn't, So I think it's one of those things that when you get excited about a guitar and it turns up and it disappoints you, it's hard to come back from that. Even if you do correct the problems.
Want to go back into the chat a second there. David Evans is saying, have I missed anything? Daughter stabilised now. Thought, oh, well, that's nice to know, mate. Thought I joined for the last 10 minutes. It's just middle-aged men talking about guitars and stuff. I don't know when exactly you had to go and tend to your daughter. But we had Rachel on from Zoe's Place. And she's, just what a lovely lady, and what a fantastic cause. Adam San is saying, have you ever played a Heritage Les Paul? If so, any thoughts over a Gibson Les Paul, given their shared history? I've never played a Heritage guitar. It is on my bucket list. But let's just have another quick look through the chat, because I don't want to feel like people are being ignored. Graham Campbell is saying, I had a Rickenbacker 650 years ago. It had a small body, chunky maple neck, and mini humbuckers. Really different, but played great. Wish I'd kept it. Oh, there's always the one that got away, isn't it? There's another Top 5 Tuesday video, the ones that got away.
Yeah. Is that guitars or girlfriends? You get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, that could lead us down a whole rabbit hole, couldn't it? The Epiphone Greenie. Every year in January, I do one of the top 5 videos where I talk about things I want to see in the coming year. And for about 3 years, I've done, why won't Epiphone make a Greenie guitar, a Gary Moore guitar? I'd buy one. And, you know, it's like, be careful what you wish for, because I've seen this one, and, you know, when they finally come out with it, and it's essentially just that Epiphone 59 Les Paul that Rob Bald kind of was very kind enough to send my way. And it's that guitar in a pretty frock. You know, it's all right. It's got the sort of greeny pickups. So it's a little bit of an upgrade beyond the burst buckers, I suppose.
It's not a bound guitar, though, is it, the Greenie? Is that right? Is that the...
Sorry?
There's no binding on that guitar, though, is there? Is it the one I'm thinking of?
No, I think there is. I think the Gary Moore Gibson Les Paul didn't have binding. But it's going to be about, like, I think I've heard different stories. I've heard anywhere between 1,200 quid and 1,500 quid. And once you breach that 4-figure price tag for an Epiphone, that's just a line in the sand for me. You know, that's...
Yes. Oh, blimey, is that the price? Wow, I just looked it up now. 1,500. And then I say buy a tribute model, you know, and enjoy the lack of depreciation that you'll get with the Epiphone.
Yeah. You know, it's... And I mean, that sort of Colin from Guitaristas did a video today. He has some Les Paul copy that's made in the Netherlands. That just like a quick split second glance at it, that's a Greenie, you know. But it isn't. It's a Vox Humana Stoner guitar. From the Netherlands, of course, it's called a Stoner, you know. You know, it doesn't have the out of phase kind of thing in the middle, but he had a pedal, and I'd have to watch the video again to see what it is. But I think it was an Electro Harmonics pedal that gave that sort of, you know, kind of middle position, out of phase kind of sound, which piqued my interest, I must say. So, yeah, as I say, just once you go over £1,000 for an Epiphone, I think that's
yeah, it does. It's the same as the seeing a Mexican Fender for £1,300-1,400. It makes me feel a little bit odd, a little bit. Am I being done over here?
And that's, I think Gibson are missing a trick here, because, like, if you look at the big 3 guitar manufacturers, you've got Fender. And if you want a Fender, if you want something with Fender written on it, even small script on the back of the headstock, and you're on a budget, you can buy a Squier, right? Then you've got the next tier up, which is the Mexican, made in Mexico range, Player or whatever that they're called these days. And then you can go into the USA range, right? Yeah. PRS, you know, you've got the SE models, then you've got the next tier up, which are made in the USA, the S2 models, one of which I've got, and then you've got the Core range. So again, 3 tiers. Gibson, you've got Epiphone, and then you've got Gibson. They're missing that kind of middle ground for me. And I think if they took some of the higher end Epiphones, like the Greenie, for example, and some of the Joe Bonamassa models and stuff, and rebranded them as Gibson, maybe Gibson Korea or something like that, or Gibson whatever, wherever they're made. China nowadays, isn't it? Yeah. You know, I think if they actually put the G word on the headstock, they would probably, you know, I don't know. The resentment that middle-aged chaps like us have for paying over £1,000 for an Epiphone might kind of be ameliorated somewhat. There's me, a kind of a fat lad in red car giving a global brand some marketing advice.
And why not?
And why not? That pretty much brings us to the end of the stream for this evening, because I'm starting to get hungry and we've been on an hour. Thank you once again, everyone, for turning up. Thank you to the Lamb, who's kind of put his shoulder to the grindstone on this last part of the live stream, and for Steve.
It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure. Anytime, John, anytime.
And yeah, well, thank you, mate. We should do this more often. Thank you to everyone for turning up and watching a bunch of portly middle-aged men drink beer and talk nonsense for an hour. Thank you for your support for Zoe's Place. All of that money will get totted up and sent over to them within the next 24 hours. And, well, I'm a fat, bald, middle-aged bloke, and I've been talking bollocks for an hour, and I'll keep on doing it till you're sick of me. But for now, time, gentlemen, please.